everyone. I'm Brad Schultz, and I'm here with my friend Georgia.
Hi.
And we decided to do a knitting podcast. So this is our very first one. We don't really know what we're doing, so we're just gonna wing it. We've been getting together every couple weeks and just knitting together. We've actually known each other for a long time.
A long time.
How long?
I want to say
2008?
Around 15 years. Does that make sense?
I guess it doesn't feel like that, but...
Yep.
So we used
23?
to teach together. So it was my second year teaching, I think, when you started.
Oh my gosh, and you were just
I was
a
a
child.
baby. Yeah, my second year teaching, and we taught elementary school together.
Right.
So,
And we carpooled together.
So we actually worked about an hour away from where we live. Mm-hmm. So we carpooled together. And we started knitting back then.
Right. I learned to knit in the car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much I learned to knit in the car.
And we would get together and knit way back then. I knew how to knit, but I usually pick up craft things pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Knitting took me a while.
Yeah.
It
And I
wasn't
knew
the
nothing.
easiest to get for me. I got the basics, but then tension and everything's kind of tough.
Right.
Or it was
Well,
at the beginning.
Casting on for me was really, really hard.
Okay, and I remember the first project we knit together,
Yep.
the cardigan.
Yep.
And I remember there were, we talked about this last time I was here, there were decreases. That was slip, slip, knit.
Oh.
And we had no idea what we were doing, so we just slipped two and then kept knitting. We decreased nothing.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So anyways, we decided just to show you some of the projects we're working on and some of the things we're doing.
Yeah.
And now that it's cooled off here, even though we're in Florida and you can see it's almost Christmas and we're sitting outside. What is
Right.
it, like 60, mid 60s
Yeah.
today?
Right.
It definitely comes in waves. So now that it's cooler, I've been wanting to knit a lot more. And from what you were saying, you knit every day.
I do. I am a knitting fanatic.
Yeah.
Not much in the way of sewing anymore, although I do have a machine. But yeah, knitting, I love to knit. I've been knitting for a long time.
Since we started.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like 15 years ago or so. And I think that maybe just recently I would consider myself an intermediate knitter.
Oh.
Yeah, I was a beginner and then an advanced beginner for a long time. But, you know, with YouTube,
Yeah.
you can do just about anything.
Yeah.
Right? With if you don't understand a stitch, you can
That's
go.
the thing with knitting, as long as you can follow the directions.
Exactly.
Anything you don't understand, hit YouTube, Google, and you'll find anything you're looking for. My issue with knitting is patience. Because it takes a long time to
It
get,
does.
for me,
It
to get,
does.
I'm a slow knitter. It takes a long time to get through a project. Sewing, I'm good. I can.
Yeah, you can go fast. And see, for me, it's the meticulousness of it, following directions. It doesn't matter to me that it's slow. That's just the difference in my personality. I'm way less creative than you are.
So
Way
people call
less.
it process knitters or product knitters. So do you knit because you enjoy the process, or do you knit because you want the finished product?
Probably the former more than the latter. Yeah, I like the process, but I do get impatient for the end product. Another interesting thing, though, is some people are monogamous knitters and some people are not.
I'm not.
I can't go on to project number 2 until I'm
You're
done
gonna see
with
we're
project
very
number
different.
1. We are.
In a lot of ways.
We are.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
when it comes to my sewing, I pretty much am monogamous. I stick to one project, although that's changed a little bit over the past year. But knitting, I have a million knitting projects because I get so impatient. So when I get bored of one, I cast something else on.
Yeah,
But then
yeah.
nothing gets done.
No, that's not me. It would make me insane if I had like a few unfinished products hanging around.
I have a lot.
Yeah. Products?
Projects?
Projects, that was it.
Yeah, I have a lot. And now that we're podcasting, I have some that I'm going to make a commitment to finish.
Well, like the one that you're wearing.
Yeah, I finished this one.
Yep.
What should we do? Should we talk about some things we finished?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost Christmas, and I am not a holiday knitter at all because I can't get it done in time.
Yeah.
But you make Christmas gifts.
Oh gosh. I have made some Christmas gifts. Oh, I better not show them on
No,
this.
we're not showing
No.
them. We won't show them. So Georgia doesn't really have anything to show as far as what she's working on now because they're for Christmas.
Right. I am in between projects. So I'm actually.
Are we even supposed to be saying you're knitting things for Christmas?
Oh, no, it's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. Because but those who might see this don't know whether you're the one that I'm knitting for or not.
Yeah, I could not make Christmas gifts. Okay, listen. These were a gift for Valentine's Day last year. So how many months ago?
Yeah.
And okay, I'm going to be honest real quick. These were actually a gift. I started these probably, what was before I moved to high school. That's probably 3 to 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
They were going to be a gift for someone. They didn't get finished. So now I've re-gifted them to someone else. And they're still not finished.
You know what
Hopefully
I find
he's not watching this.
fascinating about those? I didn't know that you could knit 2 socks at once. Well, I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know what the process was. So you're knitting 2 socks at one time.
Yeah, so I just knit a long tube.
Right, but you're going to cut that.
So I'll cut it, yeah.
That blew my mind.
And actually what I did with these, I'll show them up close too. It's 2 yarns. And I did something called, it's called like helix knitting. Is that right? Helix knitting?
So you're knitting
where it's
with
kind of
one
knit
at
in
a
a
time?
spiral. Well, no, you're actually knitting with both of them at the same time.
Okay.
But you kind of do one round with one color, another round with the other color. And so you don't end up with any sort of line or jog. It spirals, but it just looks like stripes.
But it's okay, but you're not knitting with 2 like this. You're doing
Not held
one,
together, right,
And then
yeah.
the next round you're doing the other. Got
Right,
ya.
yeah.
Yep.
And then I just knit along too because I know that if I try to do each sock separately, I'm never going to knit the second sock.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so I do a long tube, and then I did the toe on this end. I'll cut it off and do the toe in the cuffs.
Yeah.
I like doing it this way.
I think I would like doing it that way too, because when you're finished with the project, you've got 2 socks.
Right. You just have to do the toes and the heels. Although, I say it goes quick, and it's been years, and I haven't done it. But yeah,
So what is this then?
that's the toe.
Okay. Well, where's the heel going to be?
So what will happen is, I'll end up cutting it here.
Oh, gotcha.
So the cuff will go on here. You have the toe, and then I'll cut in a heel
Oh my
right about here,
gosh.
and knit
See,
in a heel.
I am just not familiar with the idea of cutting into my knitting.
Oh.
That makes me very
I've only
anxious.
ever done it on socks.
Okay.
I think I've done it enough now. I've only done it a couple times. It's really not as scary as you think it is because you pick up your stitches before you cut. So they can't go anywhere.
Okay.
So like for the heel, I'll take a needle and pick up like above the line I want to cut and below the line I want to cut. And then you just cut in the center and kind of unwork the stitches, if that makes sense. Pull the
Right.
yarn out and then just start knitting around them.
Yeah.
And then you just weave your ends
Could you also have put in like a lifeline around the place where
so
you
some
thought
people,
it
what
would
they
be?
do is, it's called an afterthought heel, I think. But say I wanted my heel right here, I would take, just say like a hot pink yarn or a different
Right.
yarn and just knit however many heel stitches I need. I would knit with this color. So when I'm done, I just pull that pink yarn out.
Oh yeah, that would
Okay.
be. And
You still have to pick up your stitch. It's the same thing, except you don't have to weave in any ends. So you're not
Okay.
necessarily cutting your yarn and having to like weave in ends at the end. You'll just pull out that yarn and it leaves clean ends.
well, it would be
To
really
me,
fun.
it's more planning though, because you have to know exactly where you want your heel.
Exactly. Yeah.
And a benefit of doing this is if you just knit a tube, depending on the person's foot size, you can adjust where the heel goes in. It doesn't have
yeah,
to be
yeah.
a certain spot.
You know what would be nice is one Sunday that we get together, if you could plan on doing the heel,
Oh, the heel?
cutting.
Yeah. By no means am I a pro at all. I mean, I consider myself a pro in sewing,
Yeah.
but in knitting, no. I don't consider myself a beginner, but I'm definitely not a pro.
So are you
I'm
advanced?
I'm somewhere in the middle.
Intermediate, maybe?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
So are
do
you.
pretty much anything, but I have to research it. I don't just,
Right.
pick it up and do it. I've just seen this a million times online.
Yeah.
And I've done it a couple times.
You know, when I first started knitting, it's a great project for me when my husband and I go camping. We have a camper. So I was knitting something and we had no signal where we were. So I'd knit until I got to the place where I didn't know how to do the stitch. And I'd take my knitting and I'd take my phone, hop in the truck, and I would drive to where there was signal, pull over and sit and do a little YouTube, you know, tutorial, figure out how to do the stitch. Back I'd go. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about knitting is it's a great travel project. You can take it anywhere.
Yeah.
Actually, so last night I went to, did you know there was a hot air balloon festival here?
I did.
I
saw
went
it
last night.
Was it fun?
It was. Yeah. Okay, so it's a hot air balloon festival, but they're just there.
Oh, they don't go up?
There are 3 of them that you can pay for rides, but they don't go up. Like, they go up a little bit, but they're still tethered to the ground, and then they come back down. So then they have a big laser light show, and everyone kept waiting for something to happen, thinking the balloons would go up, but they didn't. They just
balloons never went up.
No.
Okay,
They just
well,
kind
that's
of
a little
flashed their flames.
Oh.
What's it called?
The flames,
Okay,
yeah.
And then they just did a laser light show like down on the ground.
Okay.
Anyways,
well.
it was really cold though.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was sitting there, I had a jacket on, or a coat on, and we were wrapped up in a blanket, and it just made me want more knits. And I really wanted to have my knitting there last night.
Oh, that is a boring balloon
we had
show
to
when you
sit
wanted
there.
it.
So you get there and we got food, because there were food trucks, but then you just sit and wait.
Right.
They had a band playing.
okay.
Like it was nice. It was different, but I wanted my knitting. And my friend that was with me was like, everyone would be looking at you. Like, I don't care.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? For
No,
real.
you probably, people
But
would be coming up.
The
and going
reason,
like,
though,
oh.
the woman in front of me, it was a hand knit shawl, like a large rectangular lace, like with a lace border shawl. It was beautiful. And it was like in a really woolly, fuzzy yarn. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And I could tell, I don't know if she made it, but definitely it was made.
Did you ask her?
I did not, no.
You know, I have asked people before, like I volunteer usher at the Performing Arts Center, you know, and I'm just giving people programs as they go in, and I'll be like, oh, did you knit this, didn't you? Yeah, because you can tell,
Yeah.
you know, and usually if they have knit it, they appreciate
Right, they'll love
wanting
telling
to
you.
talk about their knitting.
This is a new finish of mine. Actually, I'll do some footage here of what it looks like. This is the Dust of Snow wrap, I believe, by Curious Handmade, Helen Stewart. All right, so see, I told you it took me a long time. I started this 4 Christmases ago.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was an Advent project, and I had purchased, all the yarn is an Advent kit from Legacy Fiber Arts. So that's one where you get and you open up like a little skein every day, like 25 days leading up to Christmas.
Oh, how fun is
Yeah,
that?
it's a lot of fun. I finally finished this. It took me a long time, but I finally finished it.
Maybe if you could have like a pot holder at the end of that the Advent calendar.
You know what I think I would do okay with are like stripy sock Advents. Because you can buy skeins of yarn that are like 25 stripes, and every day you just knit a stripe on a sock. So when you're done,
Well,
you
that'd
end
be
up with
nice.
striped socks.
Right.
That's less knitting, plus the stripes kind of keep you going.
Well,
Just get to the end of
and
your stripe.
you're off of work around that time of year, so you
Yeah.
have a lot more time.
Yeah, today's the first day of my break. You know, Georgia's retired,
Yeah.
so it's not fair. But I get
Highly recommend retirement.
I get 2 weeks off, so that'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not doing much other than knitting and sewing and sleeping
Yep.
and eating.
Yep. Baking. Baking.
So yeah, this is my Dust of Snow. Have you ever used mohair?
No, mohair bothers me. I don't
do you mean
knit
it
with
bothers
it.
you?
I'm afraid I feel like it's all gonna end up on my lip gloss. Like,
So wait,
just-
is it a fear or does it actually happen?
well, I don't knit with mohair because I just can't take that little cloud. I don't know
So
why.
I love mohair.
I know you do. We talked about this.
And I love the way it looks. I love the way it feels. It's warm though. You don't know, we live in Florida. So that's another thing about knitting is we don't get that much chance
No.
to wear things. And the mohair's warm.
We're always struggling to stay cool. At least I am.
I am,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm either too hot or too cold.
Yeah.
There's really never in between for me.
Right.
But here's what I do love. A lot of these colors are really bright colors. That's why I love Legacy Fiber Arts and their colors. But the mohair kind of ties everything together. It tones it down and kind of blends it all together. I really love that look.
Yeah.
Something else I love about this pattern is the I-cord edge. I want to do this on everything I make now.
Now, is the I-cord over here as
So,
well?
no, it's not on the cast on or the bind off.
Okay.
And you know, I need to go back. We should talk about blocking. Okay, this is a big project. I should have measured how big it was. It's at least 6 feet long. No, yeah, I would say so, don't you think?
Which is nice because before you blocked it, you were kind of afraid it wasn't going to be long enough.
Well, I wasn't worried about the length. I wanted it
width?
wider.
Okay.
Yeah. So I ended up blocking it folded in half, which was your idea, which worked out perfectly. And I used blocking wires, but you see how the edge is like wobbly? This edge?
I didn't notice it
Oh,
at
you
all.
didn't? See, it drives me insane.
Not at all.
It drives me crazy because of the way the wires went in and out.
Yeah, I mean,
But I saw online, and I did this with my other shawl, is you just kind of spritz it with water.
yeah.
Something else about this yarn, though, I will say, because it's so highly colored, it bled.
Oh, when you got it wet?
When I blocked it.
Well, you know what? I just noticed that, and
Oh, there too?
But it's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
It's just sort of.
It's a kind of watercolor.
Yep.
And it works with this because all the colors kind of blend in and out. But yeah, there's a spot there.
I would never have picked up on that it had bled.
Yeah. I like how just kind of light it is.
Yeah. You know, it reminds me of Monet, the artist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So pretty.
You want to show something?
Sure. Let's see. Okay. So
Georgia's made so much more than me. I'm obsessed with this one.
I love this one.
I'm obsessed with this.
Help me with the designer again, Adrian.
Andrea Mowry.
Andrea Mowry. I love her.
I'll tag to everything we talk about down in the description. I'll do a blog post with everything, like show notes, where it has all of our links to everything we talk about, so people can find it.
So this is, I don't know.
These are my perfect colors. Yours too. We really.
Yeah, I think we have the same
See,
colors.
so here's the difference. These are the colors that are perfect for me, and even though that's why I said these weren't really my colors, but I still love them.
There are plenty of warm colors in here, though.
Yeah.
But they're mixed with some cools.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is just really pretty. This has the I-cord edging. There are probably 6 or 8 different yarns here.
These colors are amazing.
Yep, so much
Now,
fun. It did take quite a while, though.
I know this one, it's designed with spin cycle.
Right.
And you did use spin cycle?
I tried to substitute some yarns, and I wish I had gone all spin cycle.
Why? Just because
the colors are fabulous.
Yeah.
The
these colors are
absolutely
amazing.
Fabulous.
So what did you end up using? Because it seems very similar.
Yeah, I mean, this gold was a different yarn. You know, one that I picked up online. And then let's see. I got a certain way up the pattern, and then I just said, the heck with it, I'm buying the spin cycle yarn because I just loved it.
Oh, really?
I just loved it.
So you did use some spin cycle?
Oh, yeah. I probably used maybe 75% spin cycle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of spin cycle colors. I want to say this burgundy is not the spin cycle because the spin cycle project was a little bit more of there was orangey red in it, which I really loved. That's what drew me to the pattern.
But then you didn't do it.
I didn't. I ended up, thinking that I was substituting some appropriate colors.
Oh, I see.
And so this is a little different than the photograph of what she did on the cover. But she also specifies in the pattern that you really can use whatever colors you want.
Right. Yeah.
That the different blocks
well,
are
I
going
think
to
these
come out
colors are
differently.
amazing.
So yeah, I love that.
Maybe
love it.
There are so many shawls I want to make. So many.
I know.
There's another one that I just saw. I'll put a picture over here. I don't even know the name of it. but I'll put it up here. But I want to use like a cream and a chocolate brown. It has these really geometric. It's like a big triangle.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really amazing. It'll take me forever to
That
make.
would be beautiful on you.
Yeah.
Those colors.
Yeah.
And the geometric.
And that's the yak yarn that I have that I was telling you about.
Oh, you've already got it.
I already have
Nice.
it. I know I'm not buying. I know. I say I'm not buying yarn. I'm not buying yarn.
So what else? You want to show one?
All right. What else am I? Oh, wait, this is the one that I'm working on the most. This is called the Criostal Shawl. And I'm using, what am I using? Madeline Tosh Farm Twist in copper pink. I love this color. So it's like a warm, would you say it's a warm?
Warm, yep.
Yeah, it's like a warm pink with different speckles.
Copper pink?
It's called copper pink.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never had thought about that, those two terms going
So
together.
I'm calling it my Love Quartz Shawl. I had the little gem that I kept here in my bag, but it must be in my other knitting bag. Anyways, and so you start way down here at the bottom point, and then you increase all the way up until where? Right
Oh, you're on
here.
the back side
Well,
of it then?
no, I'm not actually.
Oh.
Because then you have a middle section where you just knit straight up, and then you have a third section where you decrease back down to a point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are
And
you
then
more
there's
than a third
edging.
into
I
it?
would say I'm halfway.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good.
Yeah, I'm halfway. I'm going to run out of yarn.
Oh, no.
So I just started my third skein, which is the last one I have. However,
Oh,
it's still
boy.
available online. I looked. I bought this years ago.
Are you lucky?
I bought it years ago for a baby blanket that ended up never happening. But it's still available. Hopefully the color won't be that different. I'm probably going to need 2 more skeins. Because if I'm only about, I think this will take me down to the
decrease?
into the decrease section, maybe even halfway through. But then I need to finish the decrease section, and I have the border,
Okay.
which I meant to bring the book. I need some help on the border, which I
Right.
guess we'll talk about when we get there because I still have a lot of knitting on this.
This is the one that had the scallopy border that you
Well,
wanted
it was like
to...
a ruffle.
Oh, yeah.
remember?
That you wanted to...
And I think I'm going to do a
substitute something.
different border. And I have a book that's knitting borders specifically, and I pulled it out and
Perfect.
looked. And there were some, and I think, now, like I said, I'm not advanced at all, but I think I can pick up the amount of stitches they say to pick up for the ruffle border, but then just knit whatever border I find as long as the number of stitches matches
Yeah,
that one.
yeah.
So that's the
I
plan.
think that would be important for that piece is to have a different
I
border.
love knitting this because even though it's somewhat lacy, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on camera. I'll try to get a close-up shot. The back is all purl all the way across, except for like the first 2 and last 2 stitches because you're knitting like a selvage edge to pick up later. And then the front is, there are a couple where you're like knitting 3 together in a specific way, but it just goes really quickly, like yarn overs and knitting together and those things. It
Yeah.
just is really repetitive, and the motion is nice. Now, I will say I knit on this for a long time. I was all the way up to here, and then I put it down for a long time, and when I picked it up, my counts were off. So I ended up with some mistakes because I tried to fix it here on the edge, here.
Yeah, we
But
looked at that.
yeah, I
but
don't think
can't
you'll ever
tell.
even notice. I kept going. Now here's the thing about me: if I make a mistake, I rip it all the way back.
Right.
It drives me insane. Georgia is not like that.
Well, I mean, you couldn't rip this all out. I mean, it wouldn't be even worth
The thing about
repeating
ripping
it.
this out is because there are so many yarn overs and knit 3s together. For me, not being advanced at all, trying to pick it back up and figure out where you are.
It'd be so hard. Is
yeah,
that
it would
where
be.
the error is
Yeah.
right there? I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, you are never going
And
to be able to see
and
this.
then once the edge is on, you'll never even notice.
Oh, well, let me tell you one thing about this. When I blocked this, there was one section where it just, I was like, what is going on here? It was coming apart.
What do you mean it
there
was
is,
coming apart?
Yeah, I don't know what I did wrong, but if we looked at it and then I had to kind of darn it back together. We'll have to look on here somewhere.
I would.
See, that's what I'm saying.
I would have, yeah, lost it.
You know, it's getting a little chilly.
It
That's
is,
why.
yeah, it is. That looks so good on you.
Thank you.
What I do like about this, it's a DK weight yarn. The thought of this was almost like using it at home like a blanket. It's not going to be as big as a blanket, obviously, but it's going to be pretty big because it still needs to block. That's going to open up a lot because of all the yarn overs. So it's going to be really big, but I was just thinking like cold days at home, just wrapping it around me.
Well, I mean, like last night when you were outside, this might have been really nice under your coat.
It would have been amazing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love that. That's what I've been working on. Not going to lie, I'm getting kind of bored with it.
Uh-oh.
I can only go so long.
On one project.
On one project, and then I get kind of bored and I want to go to something else. I'm trying not to cast on new things and just pick up all the projects that I've started.
How many projects do you think you have?
Oh, God.
I mean, like, is it 20?
I don't think so. You know what? I should do a video where it's like, they call it a whip parade. Work in progress whip parade, and you show all of your whips. I have a lot. I have
0.
I don't think I have 20.
Well, I have my cross stitch here.
Yeah, but you'll work on that till it's done.
I am. I will. I won't start a knitting project. So, you know, I don't have a knitting project right now. So one of the things that I thought I would do is go through all of my yarn and do something that would utilize a lot of my yarn.
So, okay, like a scrappy stash buster thing.
Yeah, and I don't have any idea what that would be. I mean, are they all shawls or blankets or...
Well, it depends on what weight. I mean, you could do anything.
I mean, they're all different weights.
Oh, okay.
All different weights.
Oh, well, you're going to have to narrow it down some then. Like, what do you want?
I have no idea. What's even possible with that? I would think like a blanket. Well, not a shirt, not a t-shirt.
Why not? You need to go on Ravelry and just type in, like, I'm sure you can look for stash busting or scrappy.
Okay. I'll do that.
I know Stephen West just came out with a sweater pattern that I love, but I love the colors he used. And it's like stripes, and then the way he I don't remember exactly what he does, but it's really amazing. It's kind of like your shawl here, where you have the pieces that are like slip knit up, where it creates definition between them. I'm not explaining this well at all.
Well, you know what? Maybe I could use this pattern.
Yeah, but do you want to make the same thing again?
I don't know. I did make like 3 pairs of the same gloves for Christmas presents.
For gifts.
Yeah.
I made the same hat multiple times. I'll show that in a little bit. I did that as gifts last year. Now I did make that as gifts. Now that I think about it, last year, I did all handmade gifts. I'm not doing that again. That was one Christmas. I did it. I'm done.
Yeah.
It was very stressful.
Yeah.
This year, I just bought all my gifts. I'm pretty much done. It's been very low stress, and now I get to knit and sew for myself, and that's what I want to do.
There you go.
So, all right, we need to find you a project then.
Yeah.
If you have any ideas for a scrappy project, leave them in the comments.
So, like, here is my box of, like, purples. And there's purples.
See, we both have a love for texture.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some of this yarn has been given to me.
I love this.
And I thought it was so hideous. See, this has...
Really? Oh, see, I think that's beautiful.
It has a halo, though. And I'm like,
see. But I love
it. This
I think
came
is
with
beautiful.
it. Now, this is, leftover yarn. I don't know what this gray is doing in here.
You have the coolest yarn.
That was given to me by my friend. Yeah. All right, so these are all these colors. Look at this. Ooh, yikes!
Yeah, I love stuff.
See,
like
that would have to not be near my lips.
If you found something you liked with a heavier weight, say this. I don't know what weight this is. Probably, I don't think it's bulky. Worsted, maybe Aran. But then you could take something thinner and just double it, hold 2 strands of it, to match the weight of whatever the other yarn you're using.
So, say it was a sweater. Mm-hmm. So the weights throughout the sweater, I should try to make kind of similar.
You know, I say that, but like I said, I don't really know. I know that Stephen West is kind of known for saying use whatever weights you want to.
Okay.
But it is going to give you a difference in look, and the gauge is going to be different. So you just have to think, like if you started using a thicker yarn, went to a thinner one, it's going to be a more open fabric than what the thicker one will be.
Okay.
Because you're going to use the same needle size.
I want
This
to
is spin
use
cycle.
big needles. Yes, it is.
I was going to say.
Oh, no, wait a minute.
definitely-
This, I think this, well, now I don't remember.
It looks like spin cycle. And if it's not, I'd like to know what it is. That also looks like spin cycle. That's not spin cycle, but that looks very similar. I wish I knew what this was, because I feel like that's a good dupe. Do you know what any of this is?
I don't. Some of
These are from your sweat, or from your...
I'll have to go to the Spin
that's
Cycle
beautiful.
website.
That's definitely, this is not spin cycle the way it's wound up. Okay, so we need to find you a scrappy project
Yep,
then,
that would be fun.
and with different weights to mix
Hold
and
on, let
match
me see.
things.
Last drawer.
Oh, these are all like reds and oranges?
Yep.
And see, all your colors really, you're good about, you know your colors. You're good about
I
knowing
do-
your colors. Why are you just throwing, just throwing yarn? But all of these colors will go together.
Yeah, I am good at my colors. So that will be my next project then.
But that's such a good idea too, to use up the things you have. Like, I'm so bad about finding a new project, having to have the yarn, buying the yarn, and then never making the project. And now I have a ton of yarn.
Ton of yarn.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I typically only have yarn for my current project, except for all of this. So having all of this yarn bothers me. I could make something out of this without buying new yarn, so that's what I'm going to do.
I think you should do the new Stephen West sweater. Although I don't know that, I mean, I want it. I don't know that you would wear it. It's very colorful and stripy, and it's very somewhat similar to this, but in a sweater form.
Yeah.
Just with bigger sections of color.
Okay. And I would be able to find a size you think to fit me?
Oh, of course. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah.
well, that'd be
I mean,
fun.
tons of people. He's very, very popular. Tons of people make his things. So I'm sure he has sizes
Okay.
for everyone.
Although the one wool sweater that I have, I don't wear.
We don't ever get to wear
Well,
it.
unless we're camping and we're in Maine.
Yeah. This is about as heavy as I want to go.
Right.
And
Right.
it's just super lightweight.
Right.
Speaking of thrifty, though, I have thrifted yarns before.
What
So
does
I have
that mean at the thrift store?
At the thrift store.
Oh, wow.
I should have brought, there are two. I've started both projects, but one, okay, so we'll move to this. This is a vest that I started. I have stuff all over it.
That's a great color for you.
Right. So I love this. It's fisherman's rib.
Which
It doesn't
means
look
what?
like, so this is where you knit and the stitch below. We talked.
Oh, hell no. I'm never doing that again.
All right, so listen, I love the look. It's not hard to do. Just this little bit has taken me forever.
Yeah. I had a bad experience with knit in the row below. I had to keep
It's so
pulling
pretty
it out.
though.
And the thing is about pulling out,
No, this is another one I can't pull out.
no, you can't pull it out. Mine was a t-shirt, and it was just stockinette stitch, I guess, all the way up to like here on the t-shirt. That was the knit one below. And I'd get up a few rows, and then I'd make a mistake, and then I'd have to go all the way back down. And I don't know, I did that maybe 3 or 4 times while I was knitting the top, and it was so discouraging and so infuriating, and I didn't know anything about lifelines, so it's a very cute top, but
I love the way this looks.
Oh, yeah, go
I
ahead.
love the way this looks, and now that I pull it out, maybe I'll start working on this again.
well, that might be a project,
It's
to
just taking
put
so long.
that down.
The reason I bring this out is because I had started this same pattern. I love the pattern. It's called like vest number 2 or something. I don't know. I'll put it up on the screen. I love the design of the pattern, but I love this. So you start with the rib, and then you just it just gives an indentation
Nice,
here.
yeah, that's
So instead of just having the rib all the way up, you still get the ribbing look at the bottom.
Right.
But here's what happened on the first one I started. So I thrifted this yarn that's really cool and was like, had metallics in it and all different colors on a base, super like acrylic-y, cheap yarn. But it was really cool looking. I thought, how cool would this be for like holiday? Although it doesn't get cold here till after the holidays, but whatever. Whatever. I still had the idea. But I read the pattern wrong. So I started doing the
Ruh-roh.
yeah, I started doing the rib up to where you would do this like indication of your ribbing at the bottom, which I did. But then do you notice how it's offset here? So like there's your lines here, but then it turns to pearls.
Yes.
So it's offset. Well, I didn't do that. So I didn't do that on the first one. And I went all the way up to it was time to start making it smaller for doing your decreases for the arms,
Right.
armholes.
Right.
But then my counts were off because the way that everything lined up, it didn't match what the pattern was telling me to do.
Right.
And I don't know enough to know what to do. So I put it down. And I don't know I'm going to have to rip it out because I don't know what to do. So then I started this one. This is yarn I got from Joann Fabrics. I'll put it up here on the screen. You know why I love this? Because of the halo. It's a cheap way, well, you know, cheap is relative. It's a lower cost way of getting that same halo look without holding two strands together. And it still feels really nice. Now, I don't know how it's going to feel on.
Well, you won't wear it against your skin, though.
No. I don't think, it feels nice. I don't think it'd be itchy,
Feels nice.
but I'm just wondering how warm it will be.
Very. This is so, you know, January, February.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So I picked this one up. This one is correct. Here's something else I don't like. Do you see how nice my decreases look here? Mm-hmm. Well, on this side, they do not look nice.
Looks the same to
No,
me.
it does not.
Let me see. You mean like...
See how messy that looks?
I know. Well, I mean, this is exemplary
Yeah,
over
that's
here.
much cleaner. And it's because you're doing a different decrease, because you're doing a left leaning decrease and then a right leaning decrease.
Yeah.
It's driving me crazy.
Oh, gosh. That's a problem.
It's driving me crazy. But I do love the way this looks, like when it's blocked and spread out. It's going to look really
beautiful.
nice. So the other one I started with thrifted yarn, and it just sits because I had that mistake. So I'll go back to it at some point and try to fix it, or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make something else with it. This is another one that we talked about this too. So this is a cowl that I made, and it's beautiful.
It is. This is the one that you use in your Instagram.
I have it on my Instagram. Yeah.
You're wearing it with your
I
eye.
am.
With your eye.
Yeah. I'm wearing it.
Great
Here's the
picture.
thing. It's very tight.
Yeah.
It would be wearable, but we live in Florida, and there's no way. I'm never going to wear this. I want, see how this drapes?
Yes.
That's how I want a cowl.
Right.
This, while it's beautiful, and I guess I just wasn't thinking about it as I was knitting it, that just is too tight on my neck, and it piles up. And it's made with that yarn. I cannot think of the name of it, but this is that amazing. I think it's yak.
Could you block it bigger, like 4
That is
inches
as
bigger?
much as I can stretch it because it's stranded. So you have the.
Okay.
Look how nice the inside looks too. I'm proud of this one. I haven't even weaved in the ends because I didn't know what to do.
Oh wow, you could wear that either way.
Yeah. So that's the stranded knitting. You're just, you know, stranding your floats on the inside. But because of that, it doesn't stretch as much.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've thought so many different things. If you have any ideas, let me know. I thought, obviously, ripping it out. This yarn is too beautiful not to use in something that's actually usable. I thought about sewing the ends together and making a little pillow.
Oh, well, that's not a bad idea. Put your little face on there at night.
I thought, I mean, I don't know what to do with it. I will never wear this.
Little pillow would be nice.
You think?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So soft.
I know.
So soft.
This pattern's amazing though. And I love anything geometric like this. I love.
Yeah.
So this brown yarn is what I'm going to mix with the same yarn and cream to do that other geometric shawl.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
And I thought about, because there's also like a hat, a knit hat that is leopard print. How good would these colors be to do like a leopard print hat? So I thought about
That'd be
pulling it out
fun.
and using the yarn to do the leopard print hat. It's beautiful. But I won't ever do anything with it.
Is there any way that this could become a hat like the way that it is?
Maybe. Maybe if I just pulled the top together.
See that? You could put a pom-pom up there. Look at that.
I don't know why, but wait, is it gonna fit my head?
That I don't know.
Oh yeah, it does.
Let me take this away here. Let me tuck this behind your ear.
Okay. And then pull that together.
Really nice. Yeah.
I had not even thought about that.
That's a great idea.
Okay.
That is a great idea.
All right, maybe next time then.
Okay.
Because
that looks
honestly,
nice.
I could try it, and if I ended up not liking it, then I'm not doing anything with it.
How would you do it? Almost like a just go in and out all around the top, and
I
then
would just
pull
gather it. Yeah. Just gather it. Oh God, who knows what my hair looks like now?
That's
But
fine. Are you into
would just gather
like
it.
pom-poms at the top?
I could gather
like
it and put a pom-pom at the top.
A furry
yeah.
pom-pom? That would be very cool.
But here's another thing. I don't wear, because we're in Florida. What?
That's such a good idea.
You're so smart.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it looked nice on
Yeah,
you too.
I had not even thought that. I don't know why I had not, but I had not. And then I don't have to fold the bottom down. I could keep that down.
You could keep it down either way. Either way you
That
want
is a very
it.
good idea.
Mm-hmm. Boy, that'd be a project that would go fast.
Yeah.
Like an hour,
Yep.
couple of hours.
Yeah, I think I could just put in almost like a gathering stitch, but with yarn, and just pull it, and then put a pom-pom at the top.
Yep. I like the furry pom-poms rather than
I
the
love
yarn.
the fur. Yeah, I love the furry pom-poms. I've never used one, but I love the look of them. Good idea, Georgia.
Then you don't. Pulling that out would be like painful.
I know.
For me.
But the
Like
yarn is just
heartbreaking.
too nice. I want to use it for something I'm going to wear, and I don't wear a lot of hats because it is Florida. But
Friday Night Lights.
yeah, oh yeah, it's not cold for Friday night games. I teach high school, so I'm at the football games on Fridays.
When do they?
But it's hot.
Are they going to
They're done.
continue? Oh, they're done.
Yeah.
What happens in January and February?
Well, soccer's happening now, but I don't go to all the soccer games.
Yeah.
And I did go to one last year, and I was freezing. I actually used the one shawl that I finished 2 shawls now. I can't say that. The one shawl I finished, I used as much as a blanket as I could at the soccer game last year.
Is that it?
This is it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you showed that to me already.
All right. I've talked a lot. What
Okay.
do you have?
Let's
you have
see
something else?
here. This is beautiful. Now, see, don't ask me what kind of yarn and what's the pattern, because I don't know. I do have it inside, so I mean, we could look at it later and you could add it.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is a very pretty sweater. Let me just kind of hold it up. Maybe you could help me talk about it. It has this very pretty collar, this floppy collar. My girlfriend, Linda, she's my neighbor and my girlfriend, she made it first, and I loved it so much that I made it. So it's like a little short jacket. It's a little snug on me, and Brad suggested that I wear it just with maybe
one button.
You know, all buttoned up. It's kind of struggling here on the button line to kind of stay closed.
I love the buttons you chose.
Thank you.
I always struggle with choosing buttons.
I chose kind of tone on tone, which
Yeah.
is I think was a good. The only thing that worries me about this is that the edge is sharp.
Oh.
I'm afraid it's going to
yeah.
break cut my yarn. So anyway,
So what weight is this? Was it like a worsted weight?
I believe so.
Yeah. So do you wear this much?
No, I didn't, because I felt like I needed to lose weight before I wore it until you told me.
So it's not that it's too warm. It's
but I
just,
think it's going to be very warm.
Yeah.
It's wool, variegated color.
it's beautiful.
It
The
is
color's
pilling
amazing.
a little bit. I need to go through with my little.
So these are set in sleeves. So you actually had to sew the sleeves in,
Yep.
or you picked up?
Oh, I picked up.
You picked up.
So I
and-
did, no, I'm sorry. Separate sleeves, and then
Sewed them in.
Right. Mattress
And that-
stitch.
And that went fine.
Yep. I don't have any problem with that. You can see I did the mattress stitch at the shoulders as well. And then this I picked the collar,
collar
I picked
up,
up and knitted.
Yeah.
It's pretty, isn't it?
It is, very, yes.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, I think you definitely could just button the top button.
Yeah. In January and February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go camping in cold places, right?
That's true, but I bring like all my oldest clothes when I go camping.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I love about camping. Nothing has to match even.
The whole thing's seam, then it's all knit flat. Even the sleeves aren't in the round.
You know, the next time that you and I do this, I'm going to have to do my homework and study my patterns first. Because this was a couple of years ago, and I honestly don't remember. But looking at the construction on the inside, that's exactly what happened.
I just want something that's in the round and nice and easy in the round.
In the round is nice.
There is a raglan sweater pattern that I just saw the other day, and never mind. I'm going to say it's something I want to make, but I have so many things. I also would love to make, there's called Turtle Dove is a pattern. I need to show this to you. You would love this pattern. It's been around for a while. It's a free pattern. It is kind of a boxy, oversized sweater with a turtleneck, but you can do whatever neck you want on it. But they have Turtle Dove 2, which is, the first one is like bulky, and the second one is just like a worsted weight. And I'd want to use this fabric. I also have this in like a camel color.
Mm-hmm. You know why I like doing this in separate pieces is because I get that feeling that I've completed something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, one sleeve completed.
But then when you're done knitting, you still got to sew it all together.
Right, and then that doesn't bother me.
Oh.
Yeah, like I could do,
Something smells really good.
I think it's you. Is it possible? I mean, you came to the front door. It's not me. Okay. I don't have anything on. Okay. You have some cologne on.
I do have cologne on, but that's not what I'm smelling. I don't know.
Is it food?
No, smell this.
I mean, that smells nice, but...
So I have like a little chest that I'm keeping my knits in now, and I did throw in like a little sachet thing. So maybe it's just picking that up.
It.
Maybe,
yeah.
I don't know. In 2 weeks, I want these socks done.
Okay, I think that sounds like a reasonable goal.
I do too. By the way, do you like the brown with this?
I love it.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
So you think I should do the heel and the cuff in brown?
Absolutely.
Because I was thinking about doing the cuff and the toe in brown and then the heel in like a cream. Or should I just do all brown?
I think either way, really. Okay. I mean, the colors go so beautifully together.
So I ended up using, this is a yarn that is like a faux Fair Isle, where it would look like you did color work, but not. But then I mixed it with this like mustard yarn.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if you did the toe and the top in the brown and the heel in the cream, that would be really lovely.
Okay, that's what I think I'm going to
do. I think that would be nice. I mean, doing it all in brown would be very expected.
Yeah.
But
this is just sock yarn that I got from, like a box. Joanne. I don't remember where I got it, but just like one of the box stores. It's not hand dyed or anything.
So that will be your goal.
That's my goal, yeah.
And if you get it done and in time, you could also finish your hat. Because that's going to be easy.
Okay.
That's going to be so easy.
All right. Those are easy.
Okay.
All right, so these two, and then I guess just keep working on my pink, the Criostal Shawl, because I really want to get that one done. Still going to take me a while, but I keep working on that.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan.
You didn't show your cross stitch.
Well, I can't because it's a gift.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a goal?
I'm going to finish my cross stitch. Yep.
And we need to find you a pattern, a stash pattern.
Oh, yes. Because in a couple of weeks, this will be done, and I'm going to pay to have it professionally framed.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Yeah. Well, it's a really old pattern, like from the 80s.
Oh, I see.
Way before you were born.
Well, not way before I was born.
Okay.
From the 80s?
Okay.
I was born in the middle of the 80s.
Okay. And so if I showed you the front of it, it's really old-fashioned looking, really old-fashioned. But so I want to take it and have it framed in something that looks more contemporary.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah.
And these are the colors it tells you to use, or you chose your own colors?
Nope, these are the colors it told me to use.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I was going to say you're really good at colors, but I like the colors it chose then.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
We'll show it. We can show it later.
Okay.
So when you do get it framed and give it, if you can't show it on camera, take a picture of it.
Okay.
So I'll put it up. We can talk
Okay.
about it next time.
All right. Sounds good. So that's going to be my goal, and to find a,
That's
what
right.
is it called again?
Like a stash buster
Stash,
project.
that's what I gotta
Or
remember.
scrappy.
Okay.
All right. So I guess that's it.
That was fun.
It is fun. I told you it's fun. It is definitely nerve-wracking to be on camera. I've done it for a while, so I'm somewhat used to it, but I still get a little nervous at the beginning. But this is your debut.
I know.
Okay, so I am Brett Schultz.
Georgia Kelly.
Georgia Kelly. We need a name for this podcast, so this is what I would like for you to do. Do me a favor. Think of something witty. Give us a good name. You have any ideas for a name for our podcast?
Well, it has a cuss word in it, so we're not going to do that.
All right, we'll talk about that one later. Leave a comment. Give us a fun name for this. We need a name. It's something we plan on doing every 2 weeks. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this. And make sure you like and subscribe so you see all the videos that are coming. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Merry Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Merry
Happy
Christmas. Happy
holidays.
holidays. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.